Hey guys, welcome back. Hope all of you are doing good. This is your host Devang Sharma. आज की वीडियो में बात करने वाले हैं very important topic and a very commonly asked interview question about Java. So without a further ado, let's start the video.
Hey guys, let me introduce to a wonderful initiative taken by Newton School. This initiative is called Launchpad. This is for the people who want to start coding from scratch and learn the basics of different programming languages for absolutely free of cost. Yes, I repeat, absolutely free of cost. It has plenty of resources available here, including courses from Java, Python, Node.js, CPP, React.js, and DBMS and SQL management. Also, few of these courses are available in Hindi as well. So what are you waiting for? Applications are open now. Apply today to become a rockstar developer within 6 months.
So welcome back to Newton School Launchpad and our complete professional Java series. This is a complete Java series from a freshman to a professional developer. Irrespective of whether you're a freshman or a junior developer or a senior developer, you will find something related to you that will help you excel in your career. So without a further ado, let's start today's video. In today's video, we are going to learn a very important and crucial topic for Java interview perspective, which is Java instance of. We're going to understand what is instance of, what is downcasting, and how downcasting is performed with instance of operator. We're going to see the code examples as well and try to understand their use cases with multiple scenarios. So without further ado, let's start with the first things first. What is Java instance of operator? The Java instance of operator is used to test whether the object is an instance of the specified type or not. Now, when I say specified type, I'm specifically refer either to the class or subclass or the interface. The three things that we have to mention for instance of operator is the instance of in Java is also known as type comparison. Why type comparison operator? Because it compares the instance with the type. Second thing is it either returns true or false. Either it is an instance or it is not an instance. So in case of an instance, the output will be true. In case it's not an instance of the given type, the output will be false. Third case is if we apply the instance of operator with any variable that has a null value, the output will always be false. Irrespective whether it is a specified type or not, if it is the instance of variable with that operator has null value, the output will always be false. Let's understand the example of Java instance of operator. So in this example, I am going to create a class dog, which is extended from the class animal, and then object of dog can be referred either by dog or by the animal class, since animal will be the parent class and dog will be the child class. So object of subclass is also a type of parent class. Let's see the example of this instance of operator using type coding. Let's go to Newton School ID and see the code. So this is the Newton School ID as you can see on my screen. There are multiple language supports provided here along with custom input, custom output, and standard error, compiler output, and messages. So let's immediately create a class animal. This is my class animal. Let's make it empty. I don't have anything here. And then I create a child class dog, which will be extending my parent class animal. Now, inside my dog class, if I create in the main function dog d1 or something like dog d, like it is like dog d equal to new dog. Now, if I print system.out instance of animal, let's see the output for it. So my parent class is animal and my child class is dog, which extend my parent class animal. Now what I want in the main method, I create a dog of object type t and I'm checking if it is an instance of animal or not. Let's see if the output should be true or false. Okay, I did a typo here. It should be d instance of animal. The instance of animal class not. Let's run the program. As you can see, the output is true. The reason is the child class t is also an instance of the parent class animal. Now let's check for the case where D instance of dog. Again, the output is true. Class D will be an instance of both class dog as well as class animal. That is how, in case of the extended objects, it is an instance of both the subclass as well as the parent class. So as we have seen in the example, the class dog extends animal, that object of dog is referred either by dog or by animal class. So instance of dog give output as true, and instance of animal also give the output as true. Another very important part is what happens in case of instance of in Java with a variable that have null value. So if you apply instance of operator with a variable that have null value, the output is always false. Let's see the example again where we apply the instance of operator with the variable that has the value false. Here we are back at the Newton School ID. Let's try to run it. What I do is, in this case, dog of day equal to null. And if I put D instance of dog, my output should be false. Let's run it and check the output. As you can see, my output is false. So if you found the instance of any null variable of any value that is given the value null, the output of instance of will always be false. Even in this case, if I do D instance of animal, let's see for the output D instance of animal. In this case also output should be false. As you can see, the output is false again, because the variable that you are going to find for the instance of variable that is assigned to null. So the output will, in any case, either for the subclass or for the parent class, output is always going to be false. So this was the example of instance of in Java with null value as well as for the simple example. Now let's start a very important topic, which is downcasting. In my last video, I talked about upcasting in Java. So if you have not watched that video, upcasting in Java, where I talk about runtime polymorphism, please do watch it. The link is in the description and here on the box. Click and watch what is upcasting and how upcasting is used to implement the runtime polymorphism in Java. Coming back to the topic of downcasting with Java, let's understand downcasting with instance of operator. So when your subclass type refers to the object of parent class, it is downed as downcasting. It is exactly the reverse of upcasting. In case of upcasting, my parent class or superclass type refers to the object of child class. In downcasting, it is exactly reverse. My subclass type refers to the object of parent class. Then it is called downcasting. If you perform it directly, compiler will give you the compilation error. If you perform it by typecasting, class cast exception will be thrown at the runtime. But only way to perform the downcasting is using instance of operator. So if we use instance of operator, downcasting is possible. Let's see. If you create dog b equal to new animal, this is a compilation error. If you perform downcasting by typecasting, class cast exception will be thrown at the runtime. If you do something like this, dog of d equal to typecast of new animal, this just like you are typecasting at the runtime, this will compile successfully, but it will give an error at the runtime. The error will be class cast exception. You cannot class cast like this. So let's see how it is possible to do downcast with instance of example. Let's go to Newton School ID again and see the code. As you can see on the Newton School ID, I have a parent class animal. Let me create a class dog which extends animal, and let me create a method here, static void method, which takes an object of animal type. Instance of dog. If instance of dog, then you can do something like dog of d equal to dog of, and here you can print downcasting performed successfully. And in my main method, what I have to do, I have to create an object of type animal, and I have to just call it. Let's check the output. As you can see the output is downcasting performed successfully. Now let's try to understand what we have done in this program. Here you have the parent class animal and you have the child class dog. This child class dog extends your parent class animal. So inside the method function what we have done, we have checked if a instance of dog, which is technically, here is where the downcasting happens. So you are able to downcast this using the instance of operator, and then you print downcasting performed successfully. In your main program, you created an object of animal class and initialized with the type of dog. So when you call the dog.method, this control will reach here, and this control will check if a is instance of dog, which is true. Then it assigns the value of dog of equal to typecast of a of object to dog. This is called the downcasting, and that is why the answer is come as downcasting performed successfully. This downcasting was not possible if you are going to implement the typecasting. If you directly implement the typecasting, that is not going to be possible. That will give you a runtime exception. Apart from that, if you try with some other examples, for example, if you perform it directly or dog be equal to new animal, that will give you a compile time error. So the only way to achieve the downcasting is using the instance of operator. Here's a note guys, the downcasting can also be achieved without an instance of operator. But in that case, you have to explicitly implement it and handle the compile time exception. So now we have seen the possibility of downcasting with instance of operator. Let's come to the last part, which is understanding the real use case of instance of in Java. We have seen the instance of operator. One example is that we can downcast using it, and second example, it can tell me the type. The type can be a class, subclass, or an interface. Now let's see the program to understand the real use of instance of keyword with the example. Let's go to Newton's School ID and see the code. As you can see, here's the Newton's School ID. Let me just clear it all. We've seen the example of downcasting using instance of. Let's see the real life example. So here I'm creating an interface. The name of the interface is printable. And then I create a class A which implements public void A, and in this method I can just print this is A method. Then I can have another class B which will implement the same interface. So I can just copy paste here class B implements printable. I can just type method B and name this method as B. Then I can create a class call which will invoke printable of B. Now observe here, the base class is calling from the parent class. The base class is calling from the parent class. So this is what this is upcasting. And inside I can define the logic if P instance of A, then A of A equal to type class B. This is example of downcasting as just we have seen in the previous example. Downcasting. Call the method A. Similar logic for B as well. P instance of B and if typecast is B. This is also example of downcasting. So this is where my class will end here. Now let's go inside the main, and just to test it, let's create some values. So for printable, I can do something like printable P equal to P and call C, object of class C equal to method. Let's invoke the value P. Let's check out the output for this case. The output for this case should be B method. Let's check out the output once again. The output, as you can see, is B method. So let's try to understand what is the real use case of using instance of. What I've done is I've created an interface printable. Then I have two classes which are implementing the same interface, class A and class B. Both have their functions A and B, which I'm just printing A method and B. Now what I do is I defined a class call and I created an invoke function. This is where upcasting happens, where a class is calling for the superclass or the printable, right? So if I'm checking if P instance of A, which is true, then a downcasting happens here. Similarly, if P instance of B, which is also true, then downcasting will happen. Inside my main function, I'm creating an interface and assigning it to value new. So this is where the new function B method is being called. Then you create the class C function and you call for the new call and you are able to invoke the P. This downcasting will not have been possible without using the instance of operator. So this is the real life use of instance of operator where you can perform downcasting after using upcasting to get the values. That's it for this video, guys. Let's revise for the today's class. We started with the Java instance of variable. What does the instance of variable does? It tests whether the object is an instance of the specified type. Type can be class, interface, or subclass. Then we talked about is a type comparison operator because it either return true or false. And when compared with the null value, it always gives output as false. Then we've seen the example with a practical example. Then we have seen the example using the coding, and that we have seen for the class dog and extend animal. So the type of the object dog will always be true instance of dog as well as instance of animal. Then we have seen for the null cases, the output was false. Then we talked about downcasting with examples of instance of operator and possibility of downcasting, how it was possible. Without instance of operator, if you try to do downcast, this will give you compilation and repeat directly. And if you try to typecast it, it will give you a class cast exception at the runtime. The only way was to use the instance of operator. Then we understood the real use case example with the coding, using the upcasting as well as the downcasting in instance of operator.
I hope you like this video. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe it. And do watch all the videos in the series in progression to have a better understanding from freshman to professional developer. Feel free to share it with your friends and comment down what is the best part that you like and what else you want me to improve. Till then, see you in the next video. Thank you.